I'm Alastair Greener, the travel and transport correspondent for South West London TV. Now we're seeing more and more of these 20-mile-an-hour restriction zones around London. But how much attention do we pay to them? Well, I'm off to meet a group of residents, councillors and police here in Southfields who've come up with a unique way to ensure we slow down. One of the group who's got together is PCLV. So tell us, why is this particularly important here?
Well, at the moment, obviously it's a very, very busy junction and we have lots of young families and older people who live in the area, and at rush hour periods it can get very, very busy here with cars speeding through the junction.
And the streets around here are particularly narrow. There's double parked cars. I can imagine there's a lot of challenges in that.
There are, obviously, all the roads were all built and designed in the 1890s, obviously for horses and carts. In the grid we've got over there, we have cars who nowadays can do literally 30 or 40 miles an hour quite easily. We have up to 6 schools in the surrounding area, and if a child steps out in front of the car, I hate to think what would happen. A lot of cars do not adhere to 20 miles an hour. We have speed humps, but a speed gun would obviously help us and the local community to identify drivers who are speeding. It's not necessarily to give them a fine, but to educate them in their driving and obviously how fast they go.
Okay, well, we're joined by members of the community and also representatives from the council. So let's find out from them what difference it would make to their community by having this speed gun.
I'm Guy Humphreys, the local councillor here for Southfields, and the council have been doing quite a lot of work with introducing a 20-mile-an-hour speed zone in these residential streets. We realised just doing the 20-mile-an-hour zone on its own isn't enough. We need some backup. So when the police failed to get internal funding for the speed gun, we thought that was a great opportunity for the local community to get involved. Only a couple of months ago here on this very junction, there was a young girl knocked off her scooter by a car speeding across the junction, and that's luckily very rare. She wasn't hurt badly, but the potential was incredibly awful, and so we want to try and nip this kind of action in the bud now. We're going to provide the funding to provide the gun and also training for up to 4 people, so that will be manned and operated by the local police team themselves, and as I say, we'll also hopefully try to train up a couple of volunteers from the local community who will go out but with police as well, so it'll be a police-run operation. It'll just mean that much more often we'll be able to have a high visibility presence on our local streets.
Well, I'm Kim Caddy and I'm also one of the local Southfields ward councillors, and I think it's really important because from my perspective I've got 2 kids myself, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I think a lot of parents want to walk their children to school, and it's something which is really healthy and something that we want to encourage, and I think in an area where there are lots of young children living, it's really important to support that, and having the speed gun will act as a deterrent, and it's something that will support that 20-mile-an-hour limit, and I do think it will, as well as improving the safety of the area, it will also improve the feel of the area rather than having traffic rushing down our residential streets.
I'm Ian Tatham. I'm chair of one of the local residents associations and a chair of one of the local primary schools, as well as the vicar. This part of Wandsworth has a very high proportion of elderly people. In fact, it's one of the highest proportions in the whole of Wandsworth, and seeing quick moving traffic out the corner of your eye is a danger, and it's an added anxiety. The original petition for the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit came from the community, so it makes a lot of sense that the community actually work together to try and help to pay for this next development.
I'm Terry Walsh. I'm a local councillor and I live quite close to this road, which is one of the main roads through Southfields ward, and I see every day people rushing along, trying to get to work early. It's like a rat run through here. And at the same time, there's lots of people taking their children to school. When I was 16, I got run over, and I remember the effect it had on my family whilst they waited to see how I'd recover. And I made a full recovery. It's a fairly minor thing, but I remember the impact of it, and it really sort of stayed with me. And I think if people can actually get together and make a contribution, however big or small, that would be great.
We've heard some pretty compelling reasons why this scheme has to happen. And with your help, and only with your help, it can. To make a donation, click on the link below, but you've only got a few weeks to do it. And it could just save a life.